Welcome to Astrology for Mystics. I'm your host, astrologer Jennifer Jennings. Thank you so much for joining me today as I go over the new moon in Virgo. This new moon in Virgo marks the first of two consecutive new moons in this sign. Having two new moons in Virgo, this is an indication that we are moving into a period of great reflection. The second new moon will occur on September 21st at the 29th anaretic degree of Virgo and will coincide with a solar eclipse. The 29th degree is the very last degree of a zodiac sign. It represents completion, transition, urgency, maturity, intensity. It's the final moment before a planet or a luminary shifts into a new sign, and it carries a sense of culmination, but also anticipation of change. The 29th anaretic degree is often associated with lessons that must be faced before moving on, feels fated, and the circumstances that surround that degree and sign and glyph pushes us toward resolution. So on September 21st, both the moon and the sun, due to the occurrence of a new moon, will be conjunct, and it will be positioned at the anaretic degree. It's notable. This is very important. Virgo's themes of refinement, order, healing, and service may be felt with pressing intensity, but also with recognition that something must give way for evolution to unfold. With the eclipse overlaying this degree, this energy is amplified into a collective initiation. And this new moon that we are about to go through on the 23rd of August is that initiation where beginnings and endings are colliding. This new moon in Virgo, this initiation occurring on the 23rd of August, will have the sun moon conjunct at a 00 and 22-minute degree. This signifies new beginnings like no other. The astrological influences such as Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto are each associated with different aspects of pressure, change, uncertainty, and transformation. All the outer planets are at a 0 to 1 degree in retrograde, but Uranus is the only one that is moving forward to shake things up that has been created by Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto. Uranus is pouring out the spirit of truth, showing up as a judge to see where great changes and disruptions need to take place. The 0 to 1 degree represents pure and raw energy, unlike the 29th degree, which is mature, culminating. That first degree is innocent, fresh, and primal, like a seed just sprouting. The symbolism of the 0 to 1 degree is initiation, something brand new that's beginning, energy that is untested but full of potential, purity of the archetype. So at this degree, the qualities of the sign are being expressed in their most essential, undiluted form. It comes with a lot of power. It can feel both vulnerable because it's not developed, but potent because it's bursting with that potential life force. So the 0 to 1 degree is a threshold of becoming, an opening into a cycle that has not yet been shaped. The moon and sun here at a 00 degree of Virgo on the 23rd of August opens us up with the Virgo season. It embodies Virgo in her purest state, the impulse to discern, to purify, to bring order out of chaos. Definitely setting the stage for a whole new journey through Virgo. A seed is certainly being planted, which begs the questions: what intention do I dare to plant, even in uncertain soil? What must be eclipsed, dissolved, or released for that seed to grow? How can I honor the small rituals of Virgo while trusting the vast unknown of Pluto's horizon? This new moon in Virgo is a cycle of sacred refinement. What you consecrate now will echo into the eclipse, carrying potential. to shift the story in ways that feel both fated and aligned. Virgo is certainly facing a lot of uncertainty as Saturn in Aries brings urgency, and Uranus in Gemini is disrupting stability with innovation. Neptune in Aries shifts dreams to action, while Pluto in Aquarius signals major, deep transformation ahead for the future. The paradox: Virgo desires order, but Uranus scatters focus. Virgo wants clarity, but Neptune obscures it. Virgo prefers routine, but Saturn demands immediate action. Virgo values detail, but Pluto calls for future oriented transformation. The paradox is the teaching. Virgo reminds us that wholeness is not perfection, it is devotion to what is present, even in the trembling. During this new moon in Virgo, Saturn will be at a quincunx to the moon, which reminds us that courage without patience is certainly reckless. This lunation demands mastery of fire, the discipline to act slowly even when the urge is to leap. The lesson is restraint within the urgency. Uranus in Gemini is squaring the Virgo moon. So we are having major challenges with the collective and personal mind. Old ways of speaking, learning, and knowing may suddenly break apart so that new clarity can emerge through disruption of thought, communication, and ways of knowing. The mind cracks open for renewal with Uranus in Gemini. Neptune in Aries is creating a quincunx that dissolves the boundary between vision and action. Dreams of identity and courage are potent right now, but they blur the details. Devotion is required even when the path is unclear. The blurring of clarity in identity and vision, where dream and action entwine. Pluto in Aquarius is also quincunx the new moon. So Pluto in Aquarius rewrites the architecture of the future. Systems, networks, communities, communications undergo deep, massive transformation, as we can see with the homeless. The remaking of systems and futures presses us to reconcile the micro within the vast collective. This new moon asks us to plant seeds not in silence but in upheaval. It is not clarity without confusion, nor order without chaos, but wholeness born from paradox. Collectively, we are being tested. Our impulses are literally being tested. We are urged to be courageous, but not reckless. So, as you can see, this new moon is not quiet soil. It is the moment before lightning touches the field. That still moment. Virgo's precision is tested against planets freshly born in these new signs, or that are going back into other signs such as Saturn. Saturn is going to be dipping back into Pisces. These outer planets are very immature right now. Just like little kids, like little seeds that are trying to mature. This new moon is asking us to hold order in the midst of upheaval, to act with patience, even when the fire urges us on. It's asking us to tend to the small details, even as the world remakes itself all around. I have incorporated within this video rising sign forecast. If you don't know your rising sign, you have never had your birth chart, please reach out to me through my stand store that is linked in the description. Those of you who do know your rising sign, here is your forecast. Aries risers, this new moon is going to take place in your sixth house of health. It's all about your everyday, your ritual, your daily routine. Uranus is scattering your mind with a lot of ideas. Maybe right now you crave clarity, but Neptune could totally be dissolving your sense of direction right now and on through September. The paradox is your rituals will save you, not because they bring you control, but because they anchor you in the storm. You want to be able to tend to the small flame with each day. Tend to the small tasks. This way you're not consumed by the fire. Uranus is associated with disruptions, and for you, Aries risers, this would disrupt your daily habits. Saturn and Neptune are influencing discipline and adaptability. Pluto right now is linking you with shifts for the future and how you approach giving service. Maybe you want to adjust circumstances that may impact your overall well-being right now, Aries risers. This new moon is asking you to serve with devotion without burning your own flame. Saturn in your own rising sign is perhaps making you feel a lot of urgency. Maybe you are receiving a lot of headaches. Uranus squares the new moon in Virgo. And so for you, it's definitely shaking up your routine, scattering your plans. There's just a lot going on. Neptune right now could be dissolving a lot of clarity around your own sense of identity. And Pluto is trying to push you forward in communities. Order can only emerge when you honor the small rituals that steady you in the storm. Good luck, Aries risers. Taurus risers, this new moon is going to be taking place in your fifth house of kids, your fifth house of creativity, how you create. Saturn in Aries is fated with the new moon in your fifth house. So this could be associated with development of discipline, developing discipline when you are in solitude. Uranus right now is all about your self expression. Neptune could be blurring your social connections, while Pluto shifts your role in society. Actions such as play, affection, anything having to do with that artistic creation in the fifth house can be seen as responses to changing circumstances, contributing to the formation of possibly new perspectives. New creative endeavors may encounter challenges with you that trigger introspection and growth. Taurus risers, you may find that joy emerges where creativity meets uncertainty. The themes of creativity are renewed during this period for you, and it's accompanied by a lot of complexity. Uranus is forming a square from Gemini to the new moon in Virgo in your fifth house, so this is disruptive. Saturn and Neptune's positions in Aries could suggest that interactions with your friends, with the community, things like that could challenge your actions. Additionally, I would say Pluto being at a quincunx to the new moon, Pluto's in Aquarius, so this fate could be associated with your job, your public image, and it could be requiring you to make adjustments. Remember that genuine satisfaction is associated with accepting change and uncertainty during this period, especially, rather than seeking any type of perfection. Beauty can be expressed through so many forms of creative activity. This new moon in Virgo is encouraging you to focus on your creative efforts, as both change and commitment can contribute to having meaningful experiences. So good luck, Taurus risers. Let me know how you're doing. Gemini risers, this new moon lands in your fourth house of home. It's all about your roots, your genealogy, your family. Uranus in the 12th or the first house is shaking things up with your unconscious, with your life path. Saturn is asking you to step into responsibility within your home, within your role at home, and your collective roles. Neptune could be clouding your career. the changes that you could be wanting to make, where Uranus is jolting your identity, your life path. All the while, Pluto is rewriting your vision and your destiny. The paradox is your foundations quake, yet this is where older must be built, not by clinging to what was, but by creating devotion in the present hearth, the hearth of home, where your home is the temple, the place where you learn patience, endurance, and the sacred art of rerouting yourself. There may be some instability at home that requires a balance of adaptability and responsibility, as foundational aspects are subject to change during this period of time. Gemini risers, you guys could be having some shifts related to home, to ancestry, that is certainly driven by all of this planetary influence. This lunar phase for you emphasizes home, family, lineage. Uranus in Gemini is forming a square to the Virgo moon in your fourth house of home. Things are being shaken up. Definitely some unexpected changes, maybe unexpected changes with your personal perspectives. Saturn and Neptune in Aries are influencing your career, your life direction. Saturn and Neptune are encouraging reflection through these periods of uncertainty. Pluto is definitely going to be contributing, if it has not already, to significant transformation within your ancestral themes. Collectively, these transits are highlighting the ongoing evolution of both personal identity and one's relationship to their origins, to where they've come from. Maybe you want to take a trip to another country. I think that that could be in the stars for you, Gemini risers. Good luck and let me know how you're doing. Cancer risers, this new moon is going to be taking place in your third house of communications with your siblings, your childhood friends, the way that you think, the way that you speak and write. This is a good time, Cancer risers, for reflection with your siblings, things pertaining to health. Saturn in Aries right now is testing your role in the outer world, while Uranus is disrupting your allies. Neptune blurring your foreign horizons, long travels. Pluto in Aquarius is remaking bonds with other people, especially childhood friends, people that you haven't seen in a long time. The paradox is clarity comes not from control, but from surrendering your voice to truth as it arises in every moment. For those of you that rise in Cancer, this period is emphasizing the power of the written word, the power of language, the way that you communicate, and it highlights the importance of thoughtful expression. Under this new moon activity that would be concentrated in your sector with communications and siblings, Uranus transiting in Gemini, it has the possibility to introduce unforeseen insights. Unexpected sources could be arising. Saturn and Neptune in Aries is fated with a lot of reflection here with your third house of communications and siblings, the written and spoken word. And it's definitely reflecting your beliefs and your career. Pluto in Aquarius is also fated with this third house of communications and siblings. There is a lot of deep intensity, a lot of deep transformation that has taken place as you express your ideas and your vulnerability. At this time, communication needs to be clear and with the intent of maintaining both accuracy and your receptiveness. It's all about health with your siblings right now, Cancer risers. Let me know how you're doing. Good luck. Leo risers, this new moon is occurring in your second house. The second house governs your resources. It's all about your values, your personal values, the things that you own, the things that you possess. Saturn in Aries is fated with this second house, which means that it's requiring a lot of work. Saturn definitely is about responsibility and accountability. Slow and steady wins the race, but in Aries, it wants to jump. It wants to go quickly. Lots of action. It's demanding a lot of courage with your visions as well and how you spend your money. Uranus is squaring, challenging this second house. It's jolting you, jolting. Money is here, money's there, but you are gaining a lot of insights. You are gaining how to use your networking to produce value. Neptune is also fated with this second house new moon, Leo risers, and it's all about shared resources. Neptune is clouding you with shared resources, possibly. All the while, Pluto, that's also fated with this new moon, is intensifying, transforming your everyday, your job, your work, what you're doing every day. This lunation invites you to tend to your self worth with devotion and not perfection. Don't worry about things not being perfect. In order to build value, shape security from what at first feels really unstable. It's okay. This time period is definitely unstable. It comes with a lot of surprises and jolts. Leo risers, financial matters, and personal values are subject to change right now. Unexpected developments, unexpected things can happen that could prompt you to reassess any type of long standing attachments. The current astrological climate is suggestive that your values could shift and maybe lead you to an emergence of new priorities. This new moon is signaling opportunities for renewal concerning your finances. Uranus in Gemini is bringing about change, affecting community, your connections, your networking. Saturn and Neptune in Aries highlight complexities related to any type of intimacy or shared assets. So keep this in mind, Leo risers. Pluto's quincunx aspect is indicating that there is a transformation. It's necessary, a necessary transformation within your partnerships, your relationships. Individuals may find themselves reconsidering. Leo risers may find themselves reconsidering both possessions and obligations at this time, inviting a more thoughtful reevaluation of personal worth or self worth, even. Let me know how you're doing, Leo risers. Good luck. Virgo risers, this new moon in Virgo is taking place in your first house. Well, depending on where you rise, in your first or your 12th. But this is definitely going to be about your identity with this new moon. It's all about self. Saturn in Aries is fated here with a lot of transformation. And Uranus in Gemini is challenging things from the past. Maybe it's time to open up your spiritual longing, as Neptune is also fated with this first house. Neptune is the great dissolver, and It's all about your relationships. Pluto is reshaping your joy for the future. You're being remade. You just have to hold steady devotion to yourself, the self that is emerging right now. Let the old dissolve away. This is a time for new intentions. This new moon is about personal growth for you. Saturn being faded is wanting you to have restraint. It's Saturn is teaching you to move slow and to shape your future into something sacred. This period marks a process of renewal characterized by both complexity and transformation. Virgo risers, you guys may experience an emergence of some type of new identity, something, maybe it's a new fingernail polish. I mean, I don't know. The current lunation is pretty powerful and it's setting a stage. We are planting roots right now for the future that are really going to show themselves with the new moon on September 21st. Uranus is squaring your life path, causing disruptions, possibly with your career or your public perception. Saturn and Neptune in Aries is bringing a shift with your partnerships, your partnership dynamics through dissolution and reformation. You're reforming partnerships. Pluto in Aquarius has an influence that is prompting different adjustments, either related to your health or the way that you give service. Ultimately, this is a time of personal rebirth, experienced through navigating tensions, contradictions, and an ongoing commitment that you have with growth. Good luck, Virgo risers. Let me know how you doing. Libra risers, this new moon is going to be taking place in your 12th house. The 12th house is about your dreams, your unconscious, things from the past. This new moon is not going to be as intense when it comes to that 12th house with you as the moon begins to wax. All of the illumination that was so intense has now began to show itself with its own intentions as justice with Libra begins. New moons are always considered a fresh start. It's all about introspection, letting go of the old in order to shift into the new way of being. And so for you, Libra risers, as the moon has entered this waxing phase, there becomes a gradual shift from intense introspective energy toward a more outward, action-oriented energy. When the new moon becomes a waxing crescent, that is when we really step in to the germination stage of the seeds that we have planted. And the energy is often about growth. Don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean that this new moon in Virgo is not going to tug and pull on you to begin things that you've been putting off or that you need to really work on. Uranus with you is about your bonds with other people. Saturn and Aries could be testing you with your relationships because that new moon is sitting in that 12th house, the mystical house. And the mystical house is where Neptune rules. And Neptune is possibly clouding your everyday, your daily work, your daily routine. All the while, Pluto in Aquarius could be transforming your home. Libra risers trust endings as they are secret beginnings. Right now, your solitude, your dreams, and the way that you are surrendering becomes your teacher. The paradox is true clarity arrives not in action, but in silence. This period you are going through is associated with rest and retreat that will no doubt lead to new insights. Uranus in Gemini is still going to be shifting your beliefs, your ideas, your studies, while Saturn and Neptune are both affecting your daily routine, your daily job, the way that you give service. And together, these attributes, these behaviors are just slowing you down in a way that you can focus on reflection and renewal. Let me know how you're doing, Libra risers. Good luck. Scorpio risers. This new moon is going to be taking place in your 11th house. The 11th house is about hopes and wishes and dreams. It's your friend group, it's how you bring in money. This is where there is going to be reflection as well as introspection. This new moon in Virgo is all about health and organization, wellness, routines, things of that nature. And so your social networks is encouraging you with this illumination to work toward a greater good for the humanitarian cause, things that benefit your community or maybe contribute to a larger cause, something bigger than yourself. Saturn in Aries could be asking for you to restrain in your labors. All the while, Uranus is shaking you up with your friend group, with your communications, and Neptune and Aries fogs. So we have to dissolve this Neptunian influence so we can see clearer and make choices with clarity. Pluto and Aquarius could be remaking your voice, the way that you communicate with your connection. Your role in the collective is shifting, and devotion now means weaving order in the webs of connection, even when you tremble with the change. Your circle is being refined, Scorpio risers. Not everyone can walk with you into the labyrinth. This lunation asks for devotion to those who are around you that are nourishing your becoming. Previous relationships are shifting and new associations are forming. Uranus and Gemini could potentially be affecting intimacy or shared resources with your friend group. There's a lot of complexity to creative and romantic areas of your life right now. There could be some influences related to your home or your ancestry, real estate, where you live. But overall, there are adjustments that are occurring in your social affiliations, and perspectives on your collective purpose could be changing. It could be renewing itself. So let me know how you're doing, Scorpio risers. Good luck. Sagittarius risers, hello. This new moon is activating your 10th house. The 10th house is about your public image. It's about your father, your career, your reputation, your calling in life. Saturn is currently testing your creativity and how you are showing up at work. Uranus is jolting your relationships, your partnerships, all the while Neptune is creating this fog over your home life, things that are going on with your mother. Pluto in the third house of siblings and communications is transforming, intensifying your sense of worth, your communications with your sibling and your childhood friends. The paradox order in your public life emerges not by control, but by devotion to the work that aligns with your soul's wholeness. Your path forward is not in a straight line. There's no straight climb to the attention that you are wanting to receive. It's a fiery labyrinth. This lunation, this new moon, is where you want to plant seeds of devotion with your calling, asking you to lead your presence rather than perfection. There is nothing perfect. Sagittarius risers, this is a period that you are going through that involves career transitions, the way that you are publicly showing up, There's a lot of tension here. There's a lot of unexpected changes that could be requiring you to adapt and to be resilient. Even though your professional trajectory may shift, it could be introducing you to new people, new opportunities that can emerge through unseen developments. There's a possibility that there is some type of career reset here, as your relationships and your partnerships are definitely tested. Matters related to your professional role, your public standing, are important right now. This current lunation that is affecting that 10th house brings volatility as Uranus in Gemini is shaking things up. Saturn and Neptune in Aries have an influence, as all the planetary influences do, but you are being asked to make adjustments at the foundation, the root, and this will prompt renewal. How you present yourself, how you communicate, that's where Pluto is transforming you intensely. So be open to evolution. Nothing ever stays the same, Sagittarius risers. You may want to control your life path, but order is revealed through devotion, not design. So each small step is the map. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. Let me know how you're doing, Sagittarius risers. Good luck. Capricorn risers, this lunation blooms in your 9th house of vision, your philosophy house, your higher learning, your philosophy of life, your grandparents. Saturn is pressing you to make changes with your communications, with your home life. All the while, Uranus is jolting your everyday, your work, your job, with at least 2 people. Communications are shaking you up right now at work. Neptune may be clouding your words, how you communicate with your siblings, your childhood friends. And Pluto in Aquarius is remaking your body, how you show up in the world, how you bring in money. All the while, Neptune is trying to dissolve old patterns, old thought patterns, the way that you think about yourself, the way that you communicate about yourself. Your values are definitely being reshaped and reformed. This new moon is calling on you to have faith, not in clarity, but in paradox. Wisdom is forged in uncertainty and refined in devotion. Capricorn risers study, wisdom, faith are revitalized through paradox. Moments of uncertainty can give you a lot of anxiety, but there is opportunity for growth here. Sometimes it's your perspective that needs to change, because sometimes our perspective can underscore the importance of having faith rather than seeking absolute certainty. There's nothing that is certain. Everything changes. That's the only constant is change, Capricorn risers. You know this. The new moon is definitely signifying a renewed focus with your philosophical exploration, because the 9th house is about exploration, exploring the unknown in metaphysics. It's sending you an invitation to go deeper in your understanding with philosophy and your philosophy of life. And like I said, Uranus in your 6th house could be, or possibly 5th, could be disrupting routines, your health, friends' health. I can definitely see that you are going through a shift with your personal values. So plant seeds right now that can help you as you become an influence with how you communicate and how you express yourself, how you perceive yourself. Let me know how you're doing, Capricorn risers. Good luck. Hello, Aquarius risers. This new moon is going to be taking place in your 8th house. The 8th house is about death, rebirth, regeneration, other people's money, things that are very intense. It's the investigative house, the house of intimacy, the house of shared resources and taxes, transformation. Saturn in Aries is pressing on you to discipline your mind. All the while, Uranus is jolting your roots and you could feel unsteady with your home life. Neptune could be clouding your values and how you really see yourself. Surrender becomes devotion by tending what is shared. You find wholeness in what is reborn. That is the paradox for you, Aquarius risers. Pluto in your 12th or your first house is shaking things up from the past, transforming your future with your life path. And this lunation is asking you to walk into the shadow with devotion and allow that fire of intimacy with Saturn and Neptune to become your training ground. There is definitely things going on with your intimacy, your shared resources. A lot of significant changes are taking place right now with you that will definitely lead to personal and collective transformation as the deeper aspects of relationships are coming to light right now. The new moon activating your eighth house is emphasizing themes related to shared assets, a rebirthing, a transition. And with Uranus positioned in Gemini, you have to expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected developments that could impact your creative pursuits, especially matters having to do with children or your health. Saturn and Neptune are just influencing your approach to how you bring in money, your approach to your finances, how you budget, and encouraging you to reassess anything that has ran its course. Any outdated structures are going to be taken down right now. Accept the change as growth. It's possible that you are definitely going through an internal change with this luminary in your eighth house. Just find your balance and approach your values with commitment and adaptability as you navigate these complexities, especially with your emotional dynamics as well. Let me know how you're doing, Aquarius risers. Good luck. Pisces risers, hello. This new moon is going to be taking place in your seventh house. It is going to be opposing your ascendant. This new moon in Virgo is all about your partnerships in your mirror, seeing a reflection within yourself. So any triggers that you may be having right now could be showing you a shadow, mirroring things that you would like to change about yourself. Saturn is pressing on your resources. All the while, Uranus is shaking things up with how you communicate with your partnerships and your relationships. Neptune wants to dissolve your life path, your identity, and reshape you. And Pluto is showing you all those hidden places, whereas you can make these great changes and truly become more, become greater than yourself. Devotion to another becomes devotion to yourself. Every bond that you are honoring teaches you wholeness in your relationships. That's the paradox. Saturn in the second house is slowing things down with how you value yourself, how you are budgeting, wanting you to grow responsibly and mature in that area. Uranus is shaking things up with how you communicate with your siblings. As Neptune dissolves this self, Pluto in the 12th house is reshaping your subconscious, your unconscious, things having to do with the past. Remember, relationships are not fixed. They're actually living riddles. This new moon in Virgo is asking you to not love perfectly, but with patience and presence. Pisces risers, partnerships are complex, requiring some type of agreement or commitment, and subject to reinterpretation with these unions that you have. Your partnerships are undergoing revision. Maybe they appear enigmatic. This period is definitely highlighting a renewal, whether that be relationships, partnerships, marriage, contracts, anything having to do with your partnerships. Uranus in Gemini is bringing the unexpected. It is disrupting your home, possibly your family background. You are going through a lot of personal transformation. Pluto and Aquarius can definitely be bringing in some psychological dynamics here. But this period of time in August and September, there's an emphasis with the importance of navigating partnerships thoughtfully, acknowledging that change is a part of growth and all relationship matters. So good luck, Pisces. That concludes my rising sign forecast. This lunation is a riddle, a seed sown in the soil of paradox. Virgo seeks order, yet the heavens twist it into chaos. The path is not clean, it's not organized, but it's alive. During this new moon in Virgo, if you want to create a sacred space, do any type of ritual, when the sun goes down, clear you a space, whether that be on a table, an altar, what have you. Place a stone or a crystal that's earthy, that would represent the Virgo energy, like moonstone. And then maybe a candle for the fire energy that would represent these outer planets and new signs. Maybe some type of red jasper or anything that garners mental clarity and goals, strength and stability, emotional balance. Write the seed. So on a piece of paper, write a devotion that you will carry into this new cycle, this new phase of becoming. Not a grand vow, but just a detailed ritual order, that will anchor you. Fold it and then place it underneath a stone, underneath a crystal, and surrender. Surrender to this seed that is trembling in soil. Sit in silence after you ask the universe for order to rise within the chaos. Offer gratitude, thanking the universe as you blow out the candle. And keep that note, that little note that you wrote out. And when the Virgo full moon comes upon us on March 2026, you can revisit what has grown, how you have surrendered this riddle, what seeds have grown with wholeness, even within paradox. Because this new moon is reminding us all that life doesn't wait for perfection. There's never going to be just perfect clarity all the time. Seeds do sprout in trembling soil. Rivers carve their way through stone. We are always being remade in the tension of paradox. So may you find devotion in the details, order in the upheaval, and wholeness in the great weaving of your days that are to come. And if you are interested in gaining a deeper understanding of how this new moon may relate to you specifically with your astrological chart, book a consultation with me. Go to my stand store. It's found in my description here. Sessions with Astrology for Mystics is intuitive. You can go over your chart and carefully examine all the insights I may can offer you at this time. As always, thank you so much for joining me here on the Astrology for Mystics channel. Please like, subscribe, and share all that good jazzy junk. And until my next video, peace out.